All right, so you may sit on your mat, in a chair, on your couch for the next few minutes. We'll just be comfortable. And let's start by just lifting the shoulders and rolling them back and down. With an exhale, you can sigh it out. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. Good. And now just take a minute with your eyes closed or just gazing at one point to feel what's happening inside. And our class today is talking all about how to cool down. So sometimes our bodies run hot when we have heat outside, like many people in North America right now. But our mind can run a little bit hot too. So maybe starting kind of taking your temperature of your body, your physical temperature, and noticing where you feel heat and how you feel that. Maybe you're sweating, maybe you feel a little more of a burning red sensation. Maybe you feel a pulse in your circulation. For many of us with migraine, heat can be a pretty quick trigger. So part of yoga's benefits is helping us kind of experience some of what brings our body a danger signal and be in a safe place to experience that. And in doing that, we can help train our brain to be less triggered by it in our everyday life. So just kind of getting a taste of heat without the fear right now. Knowing that feeling hot doesn't have to be scary. You can be with that heat and bring our breath into it to cool us down, to help us feel safe. And then switching our attention to places in the body that feel cooler. And maybe the coolness comes from your sweat, your body's way of cooling down. Maybe where you are, it's not so hot and your toes and fingers feel a little cooler. Maybe the areas exposed of your skin exposed to the air feel cooler. Just feeling for coolness in the body. You can even notice your breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. Noticing perhaps a little coolness as you exhale or inhale. And then opening the eyes if they've been closed. And I want to show you a breath technique that uses evaporative cooling to help cool you down. And there's a yoga tradition called Vini Yoga that recommend this breath actually for migraine for its cooling benefits. So it's called Sitali. We're going to be making a straw, like a taco, with our tongue, like this. And we'll breathe in through our straw and inhale, and then on exhale, We'll just exhale normally through the nose. So we're going to be inhaling for 3, holding, and then exhale through the nose for 3. So I'll lead you as best as I can, coming in and out of the taco tongue here. So here we go. Hold, and then exhale through the nose. Inhale through the tongue. Hold, exhale through the nose. Inhale. Hold, exhale. Through the tongue. Hold through the nose. Try it 2 more times on your own. And then just return to your natural breath when you're done and see if anything feels a little cooler, maybe through the mouth and tongue and the face. And give that a shot if you feel yourself overheating. So I'm going to move down to my mat, and you can too. We'll start out with our cat and cow. There we go. And feel free to pad your knees. You can fold your mat over if your knees feel tender. You can fold your mat over if your wrists feel tender. You can even go up on the fists. So here we go. Coming into tabletop. Inhale, lift the heart and the tailbone, looking up slightly. Exhale, round the spine, looking down, lifting through the upper back. Inhale to lift. And exhale to round. Inhale, heart opens. Exhale, back rounds. Moving with the breath. Our breath is a great tool to help us cool down, both physically and mentally. Lengthening the breath. Let's do one more of that way. Inhaling, lifting the tailbone and heart. And exhale, rounding the spine. Good. Come back to a neutral position. And we're going to take this into a bit of a wave. So connecting with the water energy here. So let's come back into a child's pose. You can bend the elbows and then inhale, pull through like you're doing cow, lifting the heart. Exhale, round the spine into cat, and then pull back into child's pose. Inhale, elbows bend, lift the heart, pull it through. Exhale, round the spine, pull back and down. Good. Continue moving on your own like a wave. Exhaling on the way back, like the wave crashing down. Inhaling, pulling through. And let's do one more. And rest in child's pose. Now we're going to try to reverse it, which sometimes feels a little more awkward in the beginning. So for this, we're going to round up and then bend the elbows, pull back and down. Round up, your head's down, and then bend the elbows, lift the heart, pull back. Good. Lift up, and exhale, pull it back. Round the spine. Bring it down. One more like that. down child's pose for a breath here. Good, coming back to tabletop. This time we'll do some twists. So left hand reaches up to the sky, your hand can look, or your head can look at your hand, and then pull through, threading the needle, but don't lower the left shoulder. Keep it up off the ground. Inhale, open, and then exhale, thread the needle, pull through, keep both shoulders off the ground. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Now we are going to lower the left shoulder. So you're resting on that left shoulder. Your right hand can stay where it is. It can reach up. It can bind behind you. Releasing the shoulder. Letting go. Good. And then place your right hand back if you moved it. And back to tabletop. Let's change sides. Right hand lifts. Maybe looking up at your hand. Exhale, pull through, keeping the right shoulder off the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. You can bend that left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread the needle. One more, inhale. And then exhale, pull through, and then gently lower down. So you're resting on your right shoulder. Maybe the top arm lifts. Maybe it folds behind, or it can stay on the floor. Breathe. Good, let's take everything back to center now, hands back. And we're going to come into a hero's pose, where basically you're just sitting on your heels for this. This is going to be very temporary. And then come up, and if this is not feeling good for your knees, again, pad. You can roll up your mat underneath your ankles. And now your right leg is going to come out to the side. We'll interlace our fingers, leaving the index finger free like a steeple. Reach the arms up. Lift the shoulders up to the ears, and then pull them back and down, so you have lots of room for your neck here. And just play first with a gentle swaying. Imagine yourself like a palm tree swaying in the breeze. You've got wind coming at you here. Blow a couple more times. I'm going to double check that there's nothing, nobody waiting for us. Okay, we're good. Good, and then come back to center. Let's bring the hands to a T. And now we'll bring the left hand down, maybe the fingertips, maybe the palm, and reach up here. Let's circle this top hand. So we're going to circle down to the floor and out and back. You can add your eyes gazing at your hand for a little bit more stretch and movement in the neck. But at any time, if your neck is not enjoying it, just look down. Let's do one big circle, one more there. Good. And let's bring the hand up and over now, reaching for the opposite wall, feeling the stretch all the way from the toes to the fingertips here. Up through the side body and the waist. You can look forward or down. And now, lower the top hand so it's right about the same height as your shoulder. Press with the palm, and now let the head go totally. And this gets into the neck. So no holding the head or neck at all. We're just letting it flop. Reaching with the right fingers. Draw the chin down an inch or two. Good. Bring your head back to center. And up to you. You can try to come back using your right hand or just bring your knees back together again. So I'm going to zip it up using that core there and relax your arms. And switch sides. If this is not working for your knees, you can actually sit in a chair and do all the same type of work here. So there's always options. This time, interlace the opposite way, if you can remember. The way that feels less habitual. Make your steeple. And this time, instead of swaying, we're going to circle our palms around. Good, and then let's do 5 times the other way. Here it is. Take the arms out to a T, and then fold it over. And then let's circle that top hand so we can come down to the floor, looking at your hand if that feels good, and up to the side and down. Thinking of inhaling on the way up, exhaling down. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Good. And relax. Left hand reaches up and over here. Fingertips to toes, stretching the side body. Getting breath into the ribs. And then the top hand comes to shoulder height. Press with the fingers and let the head just flop until you feel a nice neck stretch. Bring the chin forward another inch or two, seeing if you can find a new stretch in there. And from here, I'm just going to draw my knees together to sit back down. Maybe using my hand to push my head back and rest. Take a moment here. We are moving, so we might have built up a little bit of heat, but we'll cool it down from here. Let's do one pose on our belly, and then we'll flip you over one more on your back. So coming down to your belly, you hold on, cross your arms and hold on to your forearms. So we're moving into Sphinx pose, and you can stay with this, or you can draw your hands out in front. There's a lot of ways that you can adjust this. So if this feels too much on your low back, some other options are to bring your hands further forward. You can play with coming out to a diagonal. You can play with drawing the feet wider. But we're coming into this just for about a minute. This is a yin pose that helps us get into that spine without too much effort. So hang out there. I'm gonna let one more person into our meeting. And let's push back through cat pose. And then back to child's pose. Rest here, counterbalancing that little back bend. And roll yourself up slowly. And we're gonna flip you over for one more pose before we rest in Shavasana. So come on down, knees bent, and hug your knees in. Rock them side to side. And then hold the backs of the knees, circle the knees one way. And reverse it, go the other way. And we're gonna come into happy baby. So I'll show you lots of options, but if you know happy baby, you're going to bend the knees and draw your arms through the inner thighs to either the outside of your feet, your ankles, your shins, or just holding on to the thighs. So any way you get to feeling a hip stretch is good. You might not all look the same. Everybody's bodies are different and our flexibility is different. So find what you can hold comfortably, feeling open here. Sometimes it feels nice to rock it side to side a bit. Keeping the feet flexed and slightly pulling so that your knees are coming towards the chest. For some people, it feels good to kind of lift the tailbone up. You can also try drawing the tailbone down for a different feel. Take 2 more breaths in happy baby. Good, and then draw the feet together, hug it back in. And just to unwind the low back before we come into Shavasana, hold the backs of the knees and draw the knees away. And then exhale, draw them back in. Inhale away. Exhale in. Inhale away. Exhale, pull it in. Very good. And one at a time, let's extend your feet to the very edges of the mat, maybe even wider. We're going wide here for cooling everything down. So maybe you want to just bring your arms totally out. You can come up, whatever feels nice and cool here. And fidget and move yourself into position for Shavasana. And as you settle and rest, think of your breath as though you are filling up a glass with water as you breathe in and pouring out the water as you breathe out. Filling up your glass, pouring it out. You can continue with that visualization for a few more breaths, and then just rest without any focus. Softening the forehead, and the eyebrows. Allowing your eyeballs to sink back. And the brain rests in the back of the skull. Releasing the jaw and letting the teeth separate. Tongue releasing from the roof of the mouth. Inviting the neck to soften. The whole head calm and serene. And you're welcome to hang out here for a few more minutes, or it's time to move on with your evening. Let's wiggle your fingers and toes. And roll slowly to one side. And rest there for a minute, a moment or two here. And then as you push up, let your head droop. And use your hand to your forehead to push your head back. Bringing your hands together at your heart. And connect to one thing that you are grateful for in your day today. I'm grateful for all of you to join me for yoga tonight, and I'm wishing you a nice cool weekend, and if you're in the US, happy 4th. Thank you all. So good to see you all again. Feel free to hang out and message me if you have any